Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Legend Non-Classics. Alright, that's better. So, for Comic Corner wise, this is episode number, let's see if we can find it here. Here we go. This is episode number 3348, Doubleshot number 3242, okay? Alright, so, basically with two trades here. They're from Image Comics. One is written by Robert Kirkman and Tom McFarlane. Work artwork by Greg Capullo. We have Haunt, Volume 2, which contains issues 6 through 12 of the Haunt series. The more looking at Haunt, yeah, it kind of reminds, I did say obviously reminds you of Spider-Man. I would say about the whites, it reminds you of Anti-Venom. Yes. So, Tom McFarlane also is the inker of these issues. Yep, he is. So, what happens over the course of these issues? Well, we have our Haunt, where basically he just finished up having sex with a woman. And of course, like, somebody to occur, and of course they cheat, and we have his girlfriend interrogate this woman in a red coat who gets shot and apparently dies. And of course there's chatting, of course everyone's wondering where the heck Kurt is. And she looks in the mirror, cries, punches the mirror, and shoots the place up looking for Kurt. At least some anyways. And then apparently she comes home to see, well, possibly, I don't know, it was Kurt's wife or something, I'm not sure. And just a bunch of her stuff that happens here. Is anything really noteworthy happen here? Well, it just basically I like the artwork over here for this book. But story-wise, it just, well, then we see the woman where she's walking on a beach topless. And then she points a gun at that man, and apparently, like, her name is Whisper, and he's doing his best not to look at the fact that she is topless. We have some shopping on here, shoot 'em up. We have Haunt do his own thing. It's like, at the start, Haunt is not doing a lot. Now he's doing some stuff, not much. Yeah. And they have Haunt just slicing through bad guys. You see a woman smoking. He's working with somebody here. And it's not a spy work per se, but that's all kind of it that happens over the course of these issues. Get the book roughly an 8 out of 10. Yeah. Still got a little more to go for Haunt. So, yeah. So next up we have is The Savage Dragon by Eric Larson Archives. Yeah, I first heard about this like a month or two ago. I agree with the person basically who revealed this trade was coming out, because he figured that they were done with these, but nope, they released one more for some weird reason. Not sure why, but they did. This book collects 151 to 175. Basically, I'm skipping over the first, I think it's the first like 8 issues of this book. Let's see here. Because, of course, my last share review for Savage Dragon did cover, 258, so cover from 259 to 275. Oh boy, the book gets more weirder. So it first started off with Dragon being recruited North Force. Basically, Savage Dragon World is equivalent to Alpha Flight, and he's there for a bit, and then he moves back to the U.S., where he moves to California! More importantly, San Francisco. And on a day, basically, him and his family are just taking in the sights. They run into a parody of Mickey Mouse. I say a parody because this doesn't act like Mickey Mouse I know of. I highly doubt Disney themselves would approve of this because, well, it's a parody. And then later on, Maxine is seen shopping, and Mickey Mouse decided we gotta need to grope to basically put his head up her skirt. And she's like, no, that's freaking stupid. And then apparently she's dared to run on the beaches of California butt naked, wearing nothing but a backpack. And then Mickey Mouse just gropes her and molests her until basically a parody of Minnie Mouse shows up and basically whacks him head. It's like, there are vows basically mandating to you, and I guess Maxine basically is like, oh, thank you, get rid of this guy, he's a pervert. And then she proceeds to sue him because basically her words is like, oh, do you hate sex? No, I love sex. And I'm not, like, her words is basically she don't want to have sex with a cartoon mutant, a cartoon rodent. Which, yeah, I do not know what in the world, basically, Eric Larson thought we got to do to put in a parody of Mickey Mouse in this book. I don't know. Maybe it was due to whatever, basically, big people running Disney was doing at the time. Or it's a spoof on what people thought people run Disney. And there's also a couple different weddings happening in these issues. One is Angel marrying Frank Jr., the other is Paul Dragon, the guy who is an alternate variant of the original main character of the series, Savage Dragon, and Alex, which basically Maxine does ask basically her husband Malcolm, why don't you be best man for Paul's wedding? Because basically he's not my father, just a version of him. And he's agreed to be Frank's best man at his second wedding because, here's the thing, his first marriage was to a woman that Malcolm previously dated, who basically, it was when they had the little invasion that he had basically a one-night stand with her, got her pregnant, and then they got married. And then they got divorced right after the daughter was born, and then the woman started chasing Malcolm again, which turned into a four-way, which started all the girls getting pregnant with Malcolm's children. And as far as I can tell, after Maxine had her second child, there has been no more new kids. Well, kind of anyways. There is basically, I think it's Angel's son meeting Frank Jr.'s daughter, which of course they're like, I would say actually it's more like it was actually the girl's son who meets his sister, well, his half sister anyways, because they both have the same mother but different fathers. So, and they have the wedding, no problem. And Alex is finally married to the original, well, a alternate version of the main character. Finally, after many attempts, basically, of these two finally hooking up, and they do. And more weird stuff happens, and then the book ends where the fin that was basically just rolled up, now it's apparently Savage Dragon is back now. After being dead for, oh good gosh, like about 50 issues, he's been dead. Now he's back apparently. Oh, and also prior to the wedding, Maxine had a good idea to do a one-night stand with Angel, for some reason prior to her wedding. She never got to do that for some weird reason. No idea why. But at least Angel's no longer trying to hook up with basically her adopted brother. Well, basically her foster brother. At least she's not trying to hook up with him anymore. She's back with the man she actually loves, Frank Jr. Yeah. And that is pretty much basically those issues in a nutshell. Basically, what I just discussed is what happened over the course of 17 issues. Yeah. But that will be sadly put the last Savage Dragon book I will cover for a while, because I'm out of Savage Dragon crates. Yep, I'm out. Yep, so no more Savage Dragon. So, what is replacing him? Astonishing Wolfman. I figured, why not? There's another book by Robert Kirkman. Get that one out of the way. But yeah, like in the case of Spawn, Savage Dragon is another one. Basically, like a complete update. And as of currently, this book along with Spawn are the only two comic books that started back in 1992 that are still publishing. Yes, these two are the only ones. There is nothing else. Yeah. One thing I appreciate with these issues is that the whole over-the-top sex stuff is there. It's like, I would say over the course of, like, you read these issues, like, it went way over the top by around 212. And then throughout the next 60 or so issues, it's like, somebody must have told Eric Larson this. Hey, I get the fact it's your comic, but can you tone down the sex stuff in the book? And I would say the over-the-topness of the sex in this book has really been toned down. It's like there, but I'm glad they pretty much have calmed down with it. Because I think in the case of Malcolm, he has enough kids to take care of. He does not need basically a fifth kid. Because Malcolm is now the father of 4 children. 3 boys and 1 girl. Actually, like 2 boys and 2 girls. Because Maxine had 2 kids. Yep. So yeah. That is pretty much it for particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Well, it depends on what time basically I get back from going to Lakeland time. Because tonight I'm going to go see AEW Collision. First time at the AEW show. Because the only wrestling show I've been to, aside from a high school wrestling back in 2000, was last year with TNA. A TNA taping. Which was 1 year and 2 months ago. Yep. So, probably see if I get time to, I may get one more video done. Who knows, okay? But that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Okay, see you all later. Bye.